Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for today's webinar as I am going to demo our brand new integrated payment functionality inside Tennisrungs. So for those of you that may be new or first time guests, my name is Tim and I'm the co-founder of Tennisrungs and I'll be the one presenting today. So a little housekeeping before we get started. Since this is in a webinar format, all participants will be in listen only mode for the duration of the webinar. And I do encourage you, though, to ask your questions. There should be a Q&A section in your Zoom toolbar. I will try to get through as many of those questions that I can at the end of the webinar. And if I don't get to your question live, we will send an updated email with an answer. Also, I'll be recording this webinar and publishing out on our YouTube channel sometime either later today or early tomorrow morning. So with that, let's jump right in. So a little bit about the agenda for today's webinar is obviously the number one topic is to talk through all of the payment integration and how you set that up. And then we'll talk about setting your ladder fees. So for those of you that may be on the call, that may be doing this already, you may be doing some other third-party software, PayPal, etc. I'm going to show you real quickly how easy that is to set up in Tennisrungs. Then I'm going to actually demo what a player experience is like to sign up for a tennis ladder and pay. And then I'm going to show you as an administrator how you can track those payments inside Tennisrungs, as well as view the receipts, resend the receipts, and do any refunding that you need to do in case that comes up. And then I'm going to just briefly cover two or three. You may have gotten an email on this. Some of you may I've heard some guidance, some didn't, but I'm just going to highlight, we have 3 or 4 just small features that we put in. And I'm also going to announce that we do have text alerts coming within the next couple weeks. So that's pretty exciting. So I will demo those and then I will open up some time for Q&A. So with that, I'm going to jump right over into the app. So the first thing that I want to do as I talk about the payment setup is show you what you're going to need, the tool you're going to need in order to collect payments. And some of you guys may be, and gals may be familiar with a company called Stripe. So Stripe is a payment infrastructure e-commerce provider. They're a competitor to PayPal. They're really servicing a large amount of the larger customers all over the internet as far as taking payments. As you can see here, you can go out to their website and see just some of their customers. You're going to need to go out and sign up. It's super simple, super easy. It took me like 20 minutes and other ladder ambassadors that are already doing this. It's a real easy process to do. So you're just going to get some, they're going to ask you some questions, bank accounting information. And this is the tool that you will use and integrate with Tennisrungs in order to collect those payments. So number one, before you even start trying to do this, is to go out to stripe.com. And we're going to be releasing an article on this. So, and the processes that are in place that you need to do in order to run your payments. But number one, get a Stripe account. Once you do get a Stripe account, all you have to do to be able to hook up this Stripe account, super simple, to Tennisrungs, is you're going to just go under the developer section and there's going to be a section called API keys. And when you click on API keys, you're going to get these 2 keys. One's a publishable, it's hard to say, key, and a secret key. And then all you're going to have to do is come into Tennisrungs, go into your admin section, scroll down until you see set up integrated payments and enter those 2 keys right into these text boxes. And that, my friends, is all you have to do to integrate payments. It's really that easy. So I've already done that. So the next thing I want to do is show you sort of how you set up fees for your ladder. So the great thing about tracking payments and doing this in Court Reserve is now you don't have a disjointed process. So if you're and I may say Court Reserve, and excuse me if I do, Tennisrungs. So if you are taking payments and you don't have to use a separate system to manage your payments and then come in here and add them. It handles all of that for you, okay? So if you come into any of your ladders and you click on ladder details, you will now see a new checkbox here that says, is fee required? So now you have an option to actually say, yes, I want a fee to play in this ladder for my players. And just be mindful, you do not see this checkbox if you do not have your keys through Stripe entered. It will not show up. So if you go to do this and you're like, I know Tim showed me is fee required, where's it at? This does not show up until you actually have integrated with your keys. So keep that in mind. So for this one, I went ahead and set up a $25 fee for men's singles. Now we also have a feature for early bird pricing. Now what early bird is going to do is allow you to go through a pre-registration process through a certain date and discount the fee. So if I wanted to say, if I was doing this now and I wanted to say for the next week, I'm going to give all of the ladder registrants a break of $5 and charge a $20 fee instead of a $25 fee, the system can handle that early bird pricing. So pretty neat stuff there. So it allows you to go through a pre-registration process, market that, and drive some early registrants to your ladders by setting an early bird fee, okay? All right, so for now though, I'm just gonna clear that and go back and show you this. So next is, now that we have our fee set, let's look what it looks like when players join the ladder. So if I go back to my player dashboard, and now I'm a player and I'm interested in joining one of the ladders here at the demo club. So you can see here the fee is going to be listed for each type of ladder that you've specified. And then I have the same join ladder that I've always had. So now what happens is when I click join ladder now, I get this nice, easy to read and enter credit card box, secure. This is just be mindful, this is not from Court Reserve. This is actually being served up by Stripe as part of their security framework. So this is actually not on our website. Everything is securely stored inside Stripe, okay? So if I go in, I can enter in my credit card number here, and I'm in test mode. So, and you can do this as well. It's a great thing about Stripe, so a side note. You can be in test mode and you can sort of test out some transactions if you like first before going live. So I'm just going to put in here my credentials of my credit card information. And here is a neat feature that we added that people have really, for those beta clients that we've done this with, they've really embraced this. This is for those that are running multiple sessions, seasons. They're running 8 to 10 week ladders, and they are going to re-up the charge each time. Well, what the ladder participants are able to do is actually check this box to save their profile or their billing information. So then the next time they come and sign up for a ladder, they don't have to enter the credit card information or pull out their credit card. And I'll show you an example of this in just a second. So rules are presented just like your normal flow, except now you can pay. So now I'm going to go ahead and join the men's singles ladder. So what it's going to do is it's going to go out, process that ladder, and take that payment. So this is the great thing. Look what it did. Now you don't have to worry about another process or administrative overhead to go see that that payment was collected and now go enter that person into the ladder. Tennisrungs took care of that for you, okay? The player is now in men's singles, and I just got paid. So if I go out to the admin section, I now have a new report called online payments, okay? So if I click online payments, this is going to be a report that shows me all of the payments that I have taken, the date of that payment, the ladder that payment was taken for, and the player that actually submitted that payment. So if there's any, you can see this and run this daily. We're actually going to be adding an export button so that you can export these transactions. But this is where you're going to see all your payments. So if somebody signs up for whatever reason and they get injured in a practice the next day and they say, hey, Tim, I really can't play in a ladder. Would you cut me a break and refund my $25? Certainly you can. So you don't have to even worry about doing that in Stripe. We give you refund capability right here from your Tennisrungs administrative dashboard. So all you would have to do is click on the refund button, hit yes, and that payment would be reverted and a receipt would be sent to the user. Now, on that initial payment, I also received a receipt. But if you ever get a player that says, hey, my receipt got lost, I didn't get it, you always have access to the receipt publicly in Stripe. So if I click this receipt button, I'm going to be able to get to that Stripe receipt and be able to give them this URL in case there ever are printed, in case there's ever any questions, okay? And so this is going to be, and this is going to be your ladder's name, so, and it's going to be your Stripe account. So you'll be able to brand this any way you want, okay? So that is the ladder payments, and that's refunding and showing you the receipts. So now what I want to do is show you two other player things that are pretty neat. Remember I said you could sign up and do that billing profile. So let's look and see what that looks like. So if I go down here now, there's one more ladder that I can sign up for, men's doubles. So now if I choose to join this ladder, look what it does. So now I don't have to enter all of that payment information again. I can simply choose from the payment profile that I already have saved. Now, maybe people want to use a different card. We give you that ability so they can still add a new card if they wanted to bypass their saved profile. There's nothing in the system that's going to force them to use that. So if they have multiple cards and they just want to, for this ladder, choose a different card, they absolutely can do that by just clicking the the add new card link, and that takes them to the new card screen. They go back to choose credit card. They can choose from one of their saved profiles. So pretty neat stuff there. The one other thing that I wanted to show you is on the, let's see if I can get my app up. There's a option now when a player logs into the mobile app, they now see a new option down here below. Let me see if I can move this out of the way. You see payments here. So most of your players are going to really embrace the app. If you guys are new, or if you're already on Tennisrungs, then you know that most of your players are using this app. If they're not, you need to tell them about it because it's super awesome. It's much better user experience to be on the app. Everybody has their phone, so it's easier when they're playing, when they get done, just to come in here and enter the results, see the proposals, and then once we get the text alerting out, it's really going to change the game for this app. So what I'm going to do now is, and sorry about all the notifications popping in on my phone. This is a real phone. So this is my phone. I'm holding it in my hand. Now notice down here at the bottom, you see payments. So what I can do now as a player is I can actually see all of my payments that I've made and for what ladder I made them for. So we also, this is good to show because if they're signing up for multiple ladders and they're like, man, did I sign up for this one? All of their receipts now and all of the payments they make through your Tennisrungs account, they can see in the mobile app. And not only can they see them, they can actually click the view receipt and now you're green. I mean, in the sense that you don't have to worry about paper receipts. They don't have to worry about lost emails. We actually track the receipt and let them extract that receipt nice and easily from the mobile app. So just wanted to show you that. I think that's a neat feature that the development team put in, and it's a really good way, a really easy way to make sure that people, when they have a question about the account, can see their receipt. Okay. So also, why I'm on here in the app, you may have a question about, hey, this is awesome. You showed me everything on the website, but can they actually make a payment through the app? Absolutely. So if I go to join ladder here, I see the fee now, $25. And when I go to join ladder, I see the same option. So the first thing I got to do, this is a doubles ladder, so it's making me pick my partner. But you can see here in the app, same thing. I can pick my billing profile, or I can come over here and add new card, and then this is the mobile experience. So I can come in, add my credit card number, my expiration date, CVV code, down here at the bottom, choose to whether or not I want to save it and hit join. So you absolutely have the same user experience, both on the mobile app and on the Tennisrungs website. Okay. Awesome. So I know your head's probably churning and you're super excited and you want to go out and do this right now. And we're super excited to give you this functionality. And, that's really all there is to it. I was able to cover that in about 15 minutes, but, that's a good thing because it's not like this process to do this is convoluted, messy. It's a really easy user experience. It's really easy to set up, and it's going to save you tons of time for when you go and want to start making some residual revenue and start, generating some revenue around these ladders. So with that, before I go into the Q&A, I do want to talk about a couple things that we've added recently. One of the things that we've done is we've had a lot of interest, a lot of people saying, Tim, especially with this COVID that we're in, junior team tennis has been shut down. So we're having a lot of people asking us about junior ladders. Well, the one thing Tennisrungs was really geared towards was adult ladder setup. So we realized, we went back to the team and said, hey, if people are going to want to run junior ladders, USTA ratings don't really fit. We really need to ask for date of birth so we can sort of build our ladders based on age. And we also need to ask for level. So what we've done is we've added 2 new fields now that you can put on a form that will allow you to ask for date of birth and player level. Okay. And this is really good for if you're wanting to run some junior ladders and know the age and know the player level, you'll be able to do that. And when I say player level, we've hard-coded that level to be 3 options. So if I go in here and add a new member, you'll see what I mean. So player level is beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So what we're recommending, we try to keep it really simple. So if you do or you want to run a junior ladder, these are the 2 fields that you probably are going to want to put on your registration form. Because USTA, again, doesn't really apply to juniors unless they're 18 or older. This is really what's going to matter. So this way you can sort of get your age group. So if you wanted to run a 12U or a 14U, you got your age. And then you can also base your ladders from a junior level at the advanced level, or maybe combine beginner, intermediate, or maybe do a mixture of all 3. So that's really going to be a good way to break down those junior ladders. So that's been added. Along with that is we really wanted to make it easier to sort of report and know the information about these members. So what we've done is for any of those fields that you're actually requiring, we're going to show the level and show the USTA rating and the date of birth on this form, and also allow you to export this to Excel. So this is really good for when you're going through some initial registration and you're basically registering a lot of players into one big ladder, and then you want to export it, look at the rating breakdown, and then divide it up to additional ladders. This is a great way to do that before you didn't have this functionality with that export button. Just yesterday, we've gotten a lot of requests to be able to sort the ladders in a different order, both publicly and privately, so that if you enter, because before, if you entered a ladder, that was the order that it set in. Now what we've done is we now give you this concept of a sort order. So for let's say I wanted men's singles to go to the bottom when people saw it. I can now easily just go in here and click on the edit ladder details and just move the sort index to a higher number. And that's going to control the order of the sort. So now you can see that it dropped down below because it has sort order 2. This is sort order 1. This is sort order 0. So now you can just play with these different sort orders to get your ladders to match up. And now when you go out to look at the public pages, it will show up. So now they can be in a logical order that you want to present them to the public. So this was just a simple feature, but it goes a long way. And you know, a lot of people may have missed this or didn't know that this is there. And we just released this week, so I definitely wanted to tell you about it. And then lastly, around the member list. So For those that are exposing a full member list, there may be players and times where a player doesn't want their information to be shown publicly. So now what you have the opportunity to do is, if you ever get a member who gives you a hard time about exposing their information, you can now easily come in here and exclude them or opt them out of the public member list. So all you got to do is just come in here, check the box, update the player, and then their information that is normally shown on that player list would not be shown publicly. Now, you as administrator obviously are going to still have access to that information, but if you are showing player information publicly, then you will not have, then you have a way to actually opt that player out. Okay? Awesome.